The South Union Township monthly meeting will now come to order. We would like to stand for a minute of opening silent prayer. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the roll call, Mr. Vernon.
Here.
Mr. Scott.
Here.
Mr. Schiffbeyer. Okay, next item on the agenda is the Roadmaster's report. Mr. Vernon, would you please present it?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the month of June, the following, we hauled compost 15 days. The tractor was being used throughout the township for 13 days. Sweeper truck we had out for 7 days. I think we got most of the roads cleaned up now after all that rain. We whacked around the guardrails on Synergy Drive, Victor Drive, Brownfield Road, Matthew Drive, Wiggins Lane, Dixon, Brownfield Lane Extension, Redstone Furnace, and Cinder Road, the wall. We put in 4 inlets, 4 or 3 up at Woodlawn. 4 inlets on the corner of Woodlawn and Frank Hoover Street. We put in a new inlet and pipe on Walnut Avenue, the intersection with Buttermilk Lane. We also checked inlets all over the township to clean off the tops. Litter we picked up Duck Hollow, Brownfield Lane, Cinder Road, Township Drive. We cut up a tree that fell in the stream behind South Mount Vernon Avenue, and we mulched and pulled weeds around our office building and also our rec center. We replaced pipe across Woodstock off of Redstone Furnace Road, and then we marked keyways in Meadowbrook, Jamison, Reservoir Road, and a couple of streets in Yarford. For our grant money, we have already been approved for the paving. We also Amoside remilled or patched the following areas: Woodlawn Avenue, Dixon Boulevard, numerous spots on Dixon, Dawson Avenue, Mailman Alley, Chameleon Avenue Extension, the alley between 7th Street and Carnation Avenue, Francis Street in the Craig Meadows area, Ball Street in Revere, Joanne Lane, Jeffrey Street off of Dixon Boulevard, Holly Lane, White and Smith Drive, Con Street, Trudy Lane, Rex Drive, and also we tied in 2 driveways, one on Continental 2 and one on the bottom of 7th Street near Vernon Street. We also patched or milled Sunset Drive, Locust Street, Kendall Drive, Santa Maria up behind the mall, and the old Walnut Hill Road. We had 4 spots there, and we had a couple on Elm Road and Albion Street. That concludes my report. If you have anything else you'd like to add?
Okay. If nothing, we'll move on to the next item. Sewage Department report, Mr. Scott.
Yes. During the month of June, North Union was billed 300 for overages in the Atlas line. We were talking to North Union about doing away with these agreements. So hopefully by next month, we're supposed to have another meeting. I think we're just sending money each way. We're billing them, they're billing us. So we're going to try to see to come to an agreement where we don't have to write each other checks every month. Also, Eads Group did a study for us out on Cornicelli Drive. There are 2 sinkholes that appear to be mine subsidence. We do have a sewer line going through the area. We had it cambered, I think, in May. We did have DEP out there. I received a letter from DEP that said that they did not believe that it is mine subsidence. They believe it's from our sewer line. So we sent Eads Group back out. He had a specialist come in, and he said he 100% guarantees it is mine subsidence. So now we're waiting for a response from DEP. Again, he wrote a letter to DEP of his findings. It's 2 substantial size holes. I mean, one is probably 5 foot round, 4 foot deep, and the other is probably 8 foot round and 3.5 to 4 foot deep. So there's 2 decent sized holes out there. So hopefully in August I'll have something to report on that. We did have flooding on June 20th. We had surcharges from a couple manholes. We reported those to DEP. The official date of the new township website will be August 1st. It will come up on August 1st, so hopefully we don't have any glitches, and you'll be able to pay your sewer bill online starting by November 1st. You'll also be able to book our pavilions at Hutchinson, and that will not start until January 1st, 2019. A tap was put through a storm drain on Paul Court in 1993, and the patch rotted out. It sank, so we dug it up. We did make the repair, so that's all done, just waiting grass seed. And one other thing, it's not related to sewage, but I have Maxine, our manager at the sewage, doing it for me. We applied for a dog park grant for down at the end of the Sheepskin, well, the Sheepskin Trail ends now on Barton Road. We put in for a $25,000 grant. I believe it's August 13th or 14th we know if we got the grant, but they're giving out 8 grants, and I think there were only 11 applicants at the time of the deadline. So we feel pretty good that we might be able to get that grant. So hopefully we can get some sort of dog park started as soon as maybe the end of August or somewhere into September. That completes my report.
Okay, nothing else. We'll move on to the next item. The Code Enforcement Officer's report, Mr. Vernon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the month of June, the following is the Code Enforcement Officer's report. Again, we have 1 full-time and 1 part-time officer on the day, Monday through Friday from 7 to 3:30. And we have 3 officers working in the evenings and also on weekends. Letters sent out for property repairs, we had 10 this month. Junk vehicles, we had 7. We had 4 dog complaints, 3 burning complaints. Again, you can only burn on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It must be a controlled blaze, and it must be out by 5. High grass and weeds, we had 13. Again, your grass can't get any higher than 10 inches in our township. We did post 1 property that's not allowed to be in, called human occupancy, and we had 3 dog complaints, and all 3 of them were cited, and they entered guilty pleas. So I'd like to thank our code officer and one of our supervisors. I won't mention this unless we mention how to get them, get those guilty pleas. They were riding through the township, and one of our supervisors spotted him and called the code officer and whatever, and they gave him the identification, and they all 3 pled guilty to it. Citations issued throughout for the month of June, we had 35. Miles total was 4,201 miles throughout the township, 1,897 by our full-time officer, and our part-time evening and weekend officers traveled 2,304 miles. That total 4,201. And we had 2 handicap tickets given out and 5 fire lane tickets given out. That concludes my report. If you guys have anything else you want to add.
All right, thank you, Mr. Vernon. Okay, next item. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of last month's meeting.
I'll move.
Second, Mr. Scott's motion.
Motion has been made, duly seconded to approve the minutes of last month's meeting. On the roll call, Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Vernon?
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer? Yes, motion carries. Are there any comments on the agenda items at this time from the public? If not, we'll move on to the next item. This is comments on the condition of Derrick Avenue and Bailey Lane. These 2 roads here are maintained. The responsibility is the maintenance by PennDOT. And they are very major roads within our township. They're highly traveled, and it's just, I think, a shame the condition of these roads. These 2 roads are allowed to reach, and the approach that PennDOT has been taking over the years has been more or less just a Band-Aid approach and making repairs, nothing really thought out or any long-term planning. We did direct a letter dated June 5th to the district engineer, Mr. Cizor, expressing our concern and dissatisfaction the way these roads are being maintained. And we received a reply, and we're going to be meeting with PennDOT July 16th to further discuss the situation on these two important roads within the township. I don't know if Rick or Jason, would you like to further comment?
I'd just like to say, I mean, every time it rains, we have to go up by the country club and clean the drain off
Yeah.
because the water's clear across the road. We called in twice, what was that, on Hopwood Fairchance Road about a catch basin that's caved in. I believe that was in March. It still has a cone on it.
Yeah, I talked to him today about that. I reminded him this morning about that.
Yeah, nothing's been done with
On
it.
Brownfield Avenue.
All
Yeah.
I can say is, the guys at PennDOT don't have to get reelected, is all I could say, because it'd be a hard-pressed election.
Yeah, the things that you mentioned too, especially on the Hopwood Fairchance Road.
It's a major intersection.
Yeah, it's a major intersection, and the condition of that catch basin, it's so deplorable and deteriorated. If somebody hit that, it could really cause an accident and result in injuries or even perhaps fatalities. And for it to be allowed to maintain that condition after being notified numerous times by the Board of Supervisors, and I know there are other residences called at PennDOT, and it's still not be repaired, there is no excuse for that. I was discussing with Mr. Over, our engineer, about maybe some of the things that we may want to consider proposing to PennDOT. And Mr. Over, would you like to further comment on our discussion?
Yeah, I mean, previous to the meeting, we sat there and tried to think about the last time something major was done to Derrick or Bailey Avenue. And it's easily 30 years before anything major is done, probably more like 40 years, that no type of maintenance has been done to the roadway surface out there. So, we're certainly looking to propose on July 16th that PennDOT incorporate Derrick and Bailey into their betterment program to basically improve not only the surface of those two roads, but in certain areas the width of those two roads, and certainly the stormwater systems on those two roads. We even had the previous county maintenance manager made a commitment probably 4 or 5 years ago to take care of the issue on Bailey with the one drainage inlet. He has since retired, and that commitment has gone by the wayside and was never performed, so that problem could have been corrected. So there are many issues. Certainly there's been a lack of maintenance on those two roads for a significant amount of years, and it's just something that hopefully we can get corrected and pointed in the right direction on July 16th.
And I'd just like to further add, expanding our concern. Fayette County is part of District 12, PennDOT District 12. That includes Washington County, Westmoreland County, and Greene County. And my opinion, especially being in this position I've held for so long, and watching the way PennDOT has administered a budget and their care for roads, Fayette County has really been shortchanged in regards to this. There's plenty of money being spent in Westmoreland County, Washington County. Fayette County is a member of the SPC, Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission, and that's basically a group of 10 or 11 counties, PennDOT, and elected officials, and also officials that are appointed to represent the residents of these different counties. That body is supposed to determine where the money is spent. Fayette County went into that organization as a new member, being promised that we would be guaranteed in Fayette County X millions of dollars per year. Unfortunately, it wasn't too long after Fayette County joined the SPC, and, well, not SPC, but PennDOT decided in their greater wisdom that they would determine what the money would be spent on. And they did away with the guarantee that Fayette County would be getting money each year. And I think ever since then, Fayette County has been treated not in a fair manner when it comes to delving out money from PennDOT for the care of the roads. And to have roads in our township here, like Derrick Avenue, Bailey Avenue, being such major highways in this township and in this county, and not being maintained in a better manner, there is no excuse, and I think that's proof that Fayette County has been shortchanged when it comes to PennDOT's concern for caring for roads in Fayette County.
I'd like to just mention one thing, Mr. Shipper. I almost forgot. Route 21 and Dixon Boulevard, they completed that last fall, widening it, and all that extra repair work on 21. There's 5 houses, I think, 1 commercial establishment there. They just left it in limbo. I don't know what's going on. I called them 3 or 4 times, never got an answer. Someone mentioned it might be a lawsuit by one of the property owners, I don't know. But they haven't done the thing. They're supposed to come back this spring as of 3 o'clock this afternoon. I got a call. No one's called him yet. We can even bring that up at our July meeting too with PennDOT.
I talked to the contractor a couple months ago, and he said that the project's still not closed out. They're still waiting for PennDOT to make the decision on what they want to do.
Over there. It's an
And he
eyesore.
said it was put into the PennDOT specs, and other people weren't happy with it, which I wouldn't be happy
Yeah.
with it either. It looks terrible. And they're waiting to see what they're supposed to do.
And we'll get some answers in July 16th meeting. Thank you, Mr. Shipper.
Yeah, looking very forward to that meeting on the 16th. We will have our long list of grievances to present to PennDOT. Okay, moving on to next item, open bids for summer road resurfacing program. Mr. Vernon, I know you've been spending a lot of work on putting this list together.
Okay,
You'd like to take
give it to our
Yeah, we have,
solicitor?
how many, 4 bids?
4 bids, yes. Yeah, 4 bids. Give them to our solicitor to open up as our
Yeah,
past practice.
we'll pass them on to our solicitor for scrutiny, to see if the bids are in properly submitted.
I'll begin with the bid of Morgan Excavating LP. It's accompanied with a bid bond from Great American Insurance. Item 1, 3,094 ton super pave HMA wearing course without getting its unit price $880.55, total $249,221.70. $249,221.70. I apologize. I'll repeat, $249,221.70.
That's all of our general account money. We have another one there, another part of that bid.
We have a second part.
It should be one. 3,000 ton, we went on 3,087 ton. What do you have, 2,090? Oh, I'm sorry.
3,094.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is there another one, Mr.?
No, that's it. I thought you just said
3,094?
3,000.
3,000.
Yeah, that's,
94.
I'm sorry, I thought you said 2,000.
it's
I'm
all in
sorry.
one bid.
I stand corrected there. Sorry, Councilman.
That's okay. I'm going to have our engineer take a look at these as well. Next bid is Victor Paving and Construction.
Yeah. I thought you said 2,000.
Victor,
Victor.
yes. It has the bid bond from All States Bonding Company. Again, 3,094 is the tonnage for the super pave, $82 per unit price, total $253,708, $253,708. The third bid is from El Grande Industries in Donora. There is a bid bond of the Cincinnati Insurance Company. Bid amount $79.74 per unit, total $246,715.56. $246,715.56. And the last and final bid is Anderson Excavating LLC out of Morgantown. Tough one to open here.
You try Jason's opener?
That's what I'm using.
Then, there's another one.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
21st century one.
Yeah, I like this one. This is one that works better, I think, if I can get it in there.
Don't cut yourself.
I got it. This is accompanied by a bid bond of Ohio Farmers Insurance. The unit price is $70.73. Total $218,838.62. $218,838.62. And those are the 4 bids that we have received, gentlemen.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion if everything's proper. According to you Anderson's?
You guys good with the numbers?
Make a motion to accept Anderson's bid of $70.73 per ton of 3,094 ton, for a total of $218,838.62.
May I make a comment,
Sure.
Mr. Chairman? Could we add to your motion to the lowest responsible bidder consistent with the specifications?
Sure, we'll add that on there. That's my motion.
Okay, do we have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
Motion of Nathan Dooley, second, to award the summer paving program to Anderson out of Morgantown at $70.73 a ton for a grand total $218,838. Was that 72 or 62 cents?
62.
62.
62 cents. On the roll call, Mr. Vernon,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Schiffber, yes. Motion carried.
You want to start tomorrow?
Okay.
You guys stick around a couple of minutes? You guys, you're leaving?
I'll probably leave since he lives.
Okay.
Okay, the next item of business is to consider a pass resolution opposing House Resolution 291 and to try any change by which local earned income taxes are collected. This is a piece of legislation out of Harrisburg that is trying to change the format in which the earned income tax is being collected right now. That tax, that 1%, is being collected by Southwest Regional, a local body formed by municipalities in Fayette County and I believe Westmoreland County. Do you have anybody from
I
Westmoreland
think there's
County?
one from Westmoreland.
Yeah, Southmoreland, right now. They're trying to take the responsibility of collecting that tax and removing it from local bodies, or in our case, a local body, and having the state collect that tax. But I would like to turn this over to somebody who's a little bit more knowledgeable on this. Mr. Davis?
Well, basically what the House is, the House resolution that you're referring to is number 291. And the crux of it is, right now, the way the system is set up, there are 69 collection bodies for the earned income tax throughout the Commonwealth. This resolution is to continue with a study to investigate whether it would be feasible and whether there'd be potential cost savings if this would be replaced, this system would be replaced by having the Department of Revenue collect all of the taxes. In effect, then, abolishing these local taxing bodies such as Southwestern. That is the, that's the, I guess in a thumbnail, what we're speaking about. So we're taking 69 collection systems and incorporating them, just turning everything over to the Department of Revenue.
Yeah, that's, a study was done in 2008,
Yes.
continued in 2012, they want to continue it again.
Now, this had been done before, and you know, and as Mr. Vernon knows, historically, the change had come some time ago where they went to the 69 systems, basically a countywide systems, with the exception of Allegheny and Philadelphia. And this would be another effort to kind of turn all this over to, well, not kind of, to turn it over to the Department of Revenue.
I think we'd like to have a one-on-one correspondence with the local people. If we
Yes.
go PennDOT, I mean, with the state, you get this automated system, dial 1, dial 2,
Yeah.
dial 3. So if we have a problem, we can call Southwest, 'cause municipalities own that business.
Well, you own the business and you control it in the sense that you have, as you indicated, the one-on-one contact. If you go to the Department of Revenue, you can think of it,
Yeah.
you have one agency collecting for the entire state. And, you know, it's going to be impersonal, to say the least.
Are you saying they're not user-friendly?
I'm not saying that, but I
I'll
guess.
say it.
I'll second Mr. Scott's.
In other words, it's just as screwed up as any state agency is.
Right, right.
If I mess up a good thing, you know, we have no
Yeah.
problem.
But again, this would be, if you were to act on this, you'd be taking the position to be opposed to House Resolution 291.
It hasn't passed yet.
No, it has not passed. And I don't even, you know, I don't know when it will be voted on, but I suspect it would be soon.
We have a couple of people, I think one from our county that just signed off on that bill, sponsored it there. I think there's one.
I didn't look at the sponsors.
At the top, in the front, right in the front.
I didn't look at the sponsors,
Who
but
would
I'll
that
tell
be?
you in a
So we have to
second.
contact him.
Yeah, we do.
Contact.
Yeah, our representative here in South Union is one of the introducers, therefore sponsors of the bill,
Who's that?
Mr. Dowling.
Dowling.
Yeah, according to what I'm looking at. I haven't spoken with him.
So we asked our constituents to contact him as well as us.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to pass a resolution opposing House Resolution number 291. Send a letter out to our representative and also to the state.
You have a second on that motion?
I'll second Mr. Vernon's motion.
Motion has been duly seconded for the Board of Supervisors of South Union to express their opposition to House Resolution number 291. On the roll call, Mr. Vernon,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbar, yes. Next item of business. Motion to advertise for 3,300 tons of stone in various sizes. Chair would entertain a motion.
I'll move on that.
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Motion has been seconded to advertise for 3,300 tons of various sized stone. On the roll call, Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Vernon.
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbar, yes. Next item, motion to advertise for 1,000 tons of super paved asphalt and coal patch.
So moved.
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Okay. Motion has been made to advertise for 1,000 tons of super pave and coal patch. On the roll call, Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Vernon.
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbar, yes. Okay, item number 15. Announce the Fayette County Hard to Recycle event. Mr. Scott, I know you spent some time on this. Would you please further explain it?
Yeah, this is the same as we announced last month. It's just a different location. Last month it was in Perry Township. From what I heard, it was very successful. This month it's in North Union Township, 7 South Evans Street, Lemont Furnace, PA. This is for all your hard to recycles, used electronics, appliances, scrap metal, or tires. It's $2 per appliance, $2 per tire, $3 if it's on a wheel. You're only no charge for televisions or electronics, but you're only allowed one television, and they're standing strong on the one television. If you have any questions, you can contact the recycling coordinator at the county, Sheila Shea, at 724-430-1210, extension 4307. And then next month in August, it's going to be at the Fayette County Fairgrounds, but I'll announce that at our August meeting. If you have any questions, give Sheila a call. Thank you.
Okay. Item number 16, comments from the public. Any comments from the public? Going once, going twice, no comments from the public. Okay, the financial report. Mr. Treasurer.
The general fund checking account, $307,507.42. The general fund investment account, $417,514.19. In the state fund, $367,288.83. In the hydrant fund, $11,730.39. In the athletic fund, $9,887.97. In the payroll fund, $8,588.01. In the sheepskin trail fund, $3,583.88. In the North Union South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, $45,335.79. In the recycling fund, $92,184.10. Total of the road department is $1,263,620.58. And all the accounts in the sewage add up to $2,205,738.53 for a grand total of $3,469,359.11. That's my treasurer's report.
Thank you. Any corrections or additions? If not, we'll move on to the next item. Chair will entertain a motion to pay current bills.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to pay the following bills. The state fund, $15,753.95. Our fire hydrant fund, $3,646.63. Our athletic fund, $1,843. The sewage bills, the sewage fund, $153,644.69. And our general fund checking account is $307,407.67. My motion.
Do you have a second on the motion?
I'll second Mr. Vernon's motion.
Motion has made to second to pay current bills as read. On the motion, Mr. Vernon.
Yes.
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbar, yes. Okay, Mr. Engineer, do you have anything further to report?
Yeah, I've got a couple comments. As you are aware, there was an application made for the small sewer and water project between South Union and North Union Township. It's our understanding that those applications are going to be considered on July 17th, so hopefully by next meeting we may hear something on that application. In talking to Dana Kendrick, my economic development specialist, there's been some nice activity relative to that joint application from North and South Union Township, so it looks positive. So hopefully, by next meeting we'll have some information back on that grant. As Supervisor Scott mentioned, there was a significant storm event on June 20th. Just to let everybody know, we had about 2.5 inches of rain in less than an hour. That equates to somewhere around a 50 to 100 year storm, as I heard you tell some of the local residents. So, there is a maximum development off of Wiggins Lane. That project, the erosion and sediment control system was designed to handle a 2-year storm, which would be about 1 inch of water in an hour to an hour and a half, not 2.5 inches. But the developer has modified his plan and intends to build, upon approval of the DEP, intends to build a sediment basin at the bottom of that development that will contain a 100-year storm. So that, as soon as that is approved, the developer is going to go ahead and get that constructed. And lastly, the Greater Uniontown Joint Public Sewage Plant. At our past meeting, there was a subcommittee formed of the authority members to basically look into the bylaws and the service agreements between the 3 entities. There is a member from each one of the entities that serves on the sewage authority, and Garrett Meckling from North Union Township is going to head that subcommittee, and he should be reaching out to each entity to have the entities sit in on those meetings to go over those bylaws and come up with some modifications to the bylaws and service agreements with each entity. So that's all I have.
Anything new coming in?
Everything's pretty
Nothing.
quiet in the retail and building side of things.
Okay, our solicitor, we have any thing further to add?
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing to add. And do the supervisors have any questions?
Not at this
At
time.
this time, you've been very prompt today, of course,
Thank
as always.
Thank you.
Okay, if nothing else, the chair would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn at 4:37.
I'll second Mr. Scott's motion.
Motion have made and duly seconded to adjourn this meeting at 4:37 on the roll call. Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Vernon?
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbauer, yes. This meeting stands adjourned.